Marcus Williams is still a free agent. It's undeniable that the team's performance in the secondary improved vastly once he was benched. It's important to remember he was not the only player removed from the lineup, nor was he the only change made in the organization in terms of coaching. Outside of the fact that Zach Orr is working in his first year as a D coordinator and for the very first time making play calls, outside of the fact that there are numerous assistant coaching changes, it's difficult to combat the idea that the defense improved so drastically once he and a couple other players were moved around or benched. So I won't try to do that. I read a report that behind the scenes there may have been conflict between Marcus and one of his coaches. I have no personal information on that. I simply went back and watched two games, the Buccaneers game and the Bengals game, tried to get a picture of what Marcus was asked to do, what the defense was asked to do. This is either week 7 or week 8. This defense is very confused. There's a fast 3 to the flat. Nobody takes that route. It's 3rd and 3. The Ravens have both linebackers at the line of scrimmage. Just a very unkempt defense here. Nobody accounting for that fast 3 to the flat. I'm beginning this video with some of these plays, number one, because they're in the two games that I focused on. These are the games I heard he was particularly poor in, Tampa and Cincy. But we're seeing a defense in the 7th or 8th week of the season that doesn't adjust to motions, stay within the framework of the call. This looks like a call on 1st and 10 of a Tampa 2 coverage. Roquan now turning to play strength to this side. That's really the only adjustment that you see. Everyone else drops into coverage. Don't know if PFF or some other outlet put this on Marcus. This is not on Marcus. He's got to take this deep vertical route here. You can see Stevens just really playing the call, in my opinion. I don't subscribe to PFF in more ways than one, actually. Don't know if this is something that was put at Marcus's feet, but I'm telling you this is the call. And they don't adjust well on the fly. I'll echo something that Marcus Williams brought up. It's very difficult from the outside to have an understanding of what the actual responsibilities are, what exact coverage they're in at all times. But just in watching Brandon Stevens here, his eyes are to the quarterback. I believe he's got flat responsibilities. He's going to drop with his eyes to the quarterback and to the flat to get under any kind of hole shot here. I do wish Marcus would have come downhill a little bit here and not been at such great depth. But to my eyes, this is a matter of this defender getting out of the hook zone, opening up that window. And again, I wish we had a little bit tighter coverage here and he breaks on the ball a little sooner. But this reception, to my mind, is on the linebacker for opening up that window. It's possible, in my mind at least, if the Ravens had identified Ar'Darius Washington as an impact player from the beginning of the season, we might have seen something different out of Marcus Washington and things could have turned out in a different way for him. We're going to see a late mesh underneath here that confuses the Ravens. Ar'Darius does chase here. There should be a call being made. Perhaps there is. You get two linebackers covering one and somebody wide open in the flat. It's interesting. We see Marcus half field make a call to Brandon Stevens. Looks to me like he's saying, I've got this cross. It's quite possible Brandon needs to stay home here. And we see two errors to this side and we get a walk-in touchdown. Again, this is mid-season. Defense is in disarray. Watch Roquan chase this. Tell me what you think about that. Marcus rotates down post-snap. Ravens playing 6 buzz. Watch him fill aggressively here. Read run. Bucs run a double seam here with their 2 inside receivers. He has post to seam. I think this is a matter of having the right call on against the wrong defense, or the right defense, however you want to say that. I said this in a recent video, but anytime you get Zia and you're going to get some kind of cross, 9 times out of 10, here's Marcus. Very Ja'Marr Chase centric here, clearly. Once Chase is opposite, his eyes turn to capping this vertical route. I believe this is Ja'Marr Chase on the inside. Here's Marcus. They've got a solo call here opposite. So he's going to just aggressively try to poach anything strong side that comes his way. This is an interesting call. They shift the back out and go empty. Leaves Trenton Simpson lined up over Mike Evans. You still have 3 receivers to the side. As soon as the ball snapped, you can see the quarterback knows he's got a favorable matchup here, but Trenton Simpson does a very nice job, beats Mike Evans up here, takes that away. Once number 3 goes out along with number 2, we see Marcus come over to get on top of anything vertical. He's probably thinking primarily of Evans here. If you point out that I've left off particularly negative plays or negative looks that feature Marcus in these games, I'm sure you're right. I'm sure those plays have been covered quite a bit or shown quite a bit. Again, I have to wonder if Marcus's year had turned out differently had the Ravens identified Ardarius Washington as someone who could play that third safety role next to him and Kyle. I do put a lot of this on the coaching staff. A lot of this to me looks like coaching. A lot of this you could see in the preseason and it didn't get fixed. I think Marcus's comments about there being a lack of communication have just as much to do with the off-field stuff as they do with the on-field stuff. Thanks for supporting this channel. I'll leave another one of my tunes at the end, as well as a link in the description box where you can go and purchase this music that you might support this channel. Thanks very much.